Welcome to another edition of the Black Bears Report.
Makes a move and he scores!
Your host, Hockey TV voice of the Maryland Black Bears, Alex Utano.
Hey everybody, welcome to a special edition of the Black Bear Report. Here with Chesapeake Hockey Week's podcast own Scotty Wazz. Scotty, thank you so much for taking the time to come talk to us. Now, you've had a nice couple days here at the Den. You got to experience Black Bears hockey this past weekend. What was the game day experience like for you?
It surpassed anything I could think of. Like, the staff here has been great. They welcomed us with open arms. It was a great time had by all, and I think, you know, the game day experience, you can only see so much while watching on hockey TV, and when you get here and you feel the energy, you feel the emotion from everyone involved, it's just a whole new level.
No, it's awesome always to see the Den packed with screaming fans. This community's really embraced this team. And you've been following them since day one through the Chesapeake Hockey Week podcast. Talk to us, when did you start that, and take us through the journey of where it began to where it is now.
So we started actually months after. Once the season started, the first season for the Black Bears, we started the Chesapeake Hockey Week podcast, a offshoot of the Faceoff Hockey Show, which started in 2001. And I figured that Maryland was such an underappreciated market for hockey in terms of the development and the players that are coming out of there, especially with so many players in D1. We figured we had to serve that purpose and serve the community, and it's grown exponentially because of the team and because word of mouth, and I think it's been a great thing, and I think it's brought the community a little bit more together. Also, it helps the parents out too, who may not be able to watch the games. They can follow along on Twitter and on the podcast to see what happens.
You also follow a lot of teams in the area, D3 hockey, high school hockey. Is it difficult to continuously follow up with all these teams, and just what's it like to talk about these teams and share your love for DMV hockey with everybody?
Well, the biggest thing is there's so many places that don't have up-to-date stats. That's probably the hardest one. I mean, high school is hit and miss with things, but I think it's easy to get information from, of course, the NAHL, from Team Maryland, from Stevenson in D3, the ACHA, but it's just a matter of when you look at the shot sheet that I have and then you get scared, you're like, well, I better pack a lunch for this podcast. It's going to be very, very long. But overall, I think it's been a good experience for me just to see what else is out there, because I didn't know Stevenson had a team until when I started this podcast. I'm like, oh, they have a team. And then you see other people in the community. You're like, oh, this person's from this area, this person's from this area. So you learn more as you go every single week.
And it was also, if you watched the broadcast, you would have noticed that Scotty Wazz joined me for a few periods. And I got to say, it was so nice to have a color commentator. Just watching the game, sometimes I'll lose things, forget things just in the heat of the moment, a high tense, high-paced game. And now I finally have a second pair of eyes and somebody who follows the Black Bears closely. So for me, it was awesome to have you in the booth. What was your experience like in my glass case of emotion?
Yes, the glass case of emotion was fantastic. A little tight at times, sure. But this was the first time I was doing games for about 15 years. I used to do the Washington Junior Nationals when they played out of Bowie Ice Arena. And it's been a while since I broadcasted games. It was really cool. Another vantage point to see it from, and just to see, watch the work you do, and then be another set of eyes, give you a little break here and there, maybe see something that you might not have seen, and vice versa. So I think it was always good to have two people in a booth. A two-man booth is always fun. Three-man booth, a little convoluted, but what can you do?
I think two is perfect. And if you're ever back in the area, please feel free to mosey your way on up there. I would love to have you back. Color commentators, I really like.
Can you give me the key so I can sleep there tonight?
Yeah, sure.
I'm a little out of place, it's probably warmer here than where I'm staying, maybe?
I'm sure it'll be fine. I just go ahead and do it. I'll keep the door down.
All right,
I'll
wonderful.
fix it. It's fine. But if you want to follow Scotty's work, it's Chesapeake HW Pod on Twitter. And if you want to follow the Black Bears, you can follow them at Black Bears, NAHL. That's at Black Bears NAHL.